Hey gang, Craig Ripley here. Welcome to another edition of Living Off the Slab. Today what we're going to do is revisit tarps. Right? Remember from my springtime camping video, we were talking about how really nice it was to have that little tarp that we were able to set up and get out of the rain. So we decided that it would be a good idea to have a bigger tarp that we could carry along with us for just that very reason. Now what I did initially was I went out and I got one of those blue tarps from one of the big box stores. This one is a 6x8 and I got some cordage and I rigged this all up to go on a pair of tent poles so it could be freestanding. Right, if we have trees, they're easy to rig up. But if you don't have any trees, we wanted to have some tent poles. And here's the set of tent poles that we went out and got. Or actually, Peter and Steven actually picked these up. They're about $25 bucks a piece for these tent poles, and they are corded together with a shock cord, and I think that they are something around 82 inches when they're all stretched up. They are adjustable to some degree. After playing with this blue tarp, the 6x8, what I found was that one, it wasn't very big when you got it all rigged up, and two, all of the grommets and everything are oversized, and when you put one of the tent poles in it, well, they just pushed right through, and so you end up having some problems, have to do a lot of rigging to get this to work with the tent poles. So I decided that it might be a good idea to go out and get a tarp that was specifically designed for the purpose that we intended. So what I did is I did a search online and I found a bunch of camping tarps, right? I found them that ranged anywhere from around 20 bucks to up in the $150 range, and that was for like about a 10x10 size. All right, so what I ended up doing was finding something in that mid-range. This is a 10x10 tarp from a company called Tent Tools. Found this on Amazon, and it, as you can see it there in the background, right, it's very lightweight and it folds up into this bag, which is much smaller than that blue 6x8 tarp. So when I was playing around with this blue tarp, what I did was I made myself a bunch of loops like this, put them on each of the corners, and then we went out and got these little line locks right here, and I ran some cord through those, and that will enable us to, change the tension as necessary on the line. So I'm going to take all of this stuff that I already put on the blue tarp, and we're going to just transfer it over to the new big gray tarp. Alright, so what I've done now is I've gone around to all of the corners, that it's all four corners, and I've added my loop, and then I've added my line tensioner here, and then I've got a line, probably, I don't know, there's probably 6 foot out that goes to a stake out here. And how I did that was I just took a couple of strides and I put a stake in, and then I attached my cord, giving myself a little bit of slack when I raise up this tarp, I'm going to have enough room. Along with the four corners, I also put a loop here in the center of each side of the tarp where my tent poles are going to go, and I've put a stake out there equal to the length of the tarp pole that I'm going to stand up. And then of course I attach my cordage to that stake out there, and that's what I'm going to use to tension the pole as I stand up the tarp. All right, and there you have it. Now the tarp is all up. I did it all by myself, no help whatsoever. Again, all I had to do was play around a little bit with the position of the line, make sure that the stakes and the tent poles are all lined up in perfect line. And then also you want to make sure that on your corners, the tension on those corners needs to be out front, right? You don't want to go out to the side, but you want to pull it out to the front to keep everything nice and taut. All right, now I also could add some lines in the center if I wanted to be even a little bit more tighter and stable, but I think for the most part this should work just fine to give us some shelter from the rain.